Hi, I am Peter Bartmans and I am here at Craft Music to show you Yamaha's latest workstation, the Tyros5. For a great deal, check out the bundles at Craft Music. Tyros5 offers you a lot of new, great features. To compose, to arrange, to perform. Everything is just amazing. We've got audio styles which are new. We've got ensemble voices, organ world, new DSP with VCM. All this leads to the power of reality. And I'm going to show you many of these features. Let's just start with showing you one of the audio styles. Audio styles means that the drums and percussion is really played. So before we always sampled all the sounds and then they were programmed by MIDI, which is great. But the moment you record a drummer playing, it means that the energy of his playing goes into the music. And music is all about energy and dynamics. So it's really a new experience playing with these audio styles. Let's just start very cool with a cool blues style. If you'd like to hear more music performed on the Tyros5, check out our performance video. Just one example of an audio style. Let's just go to another one. This is a very, very nice Latin style. And of course, the feeling, the groove now is very, very natural of the rhythm and the percussion. So again, another great example of an audio style. Many new sounds, and the sounds have really improved because we have new DSP. The quality of the DSP now is also very good. And what makes a DSP, for example, who does the reverb so good? If you have a high quality, it doesn't just add reverb to the voice. No, it really puts the instruments into a room. And if you can hear that, then it means that you have a very good DSP quality. So if I play this piano, for example, so it was very clear to hear that the instrument really, you got the impression that it's in a room, right? And that really distinguishes a great DSP quality. So let me play a little bit of, well, it's not really classic, but it's a kind of concerto, piano concerto with some background music, and it's just amazing the quality of the piano and the DSP. Not only do we have this fantastic 9-foot grand piano sound, but sometimes you need just another piano sound. For example, if you want to create the atmosphere of a jazz club, you know, it's maybe even better to have an upright piano. And for the first time ever, we have the sample of an upright piano in Tyros5. And it just creates this magnificent, different piano atmosphere. Let me show it. Of course, I think you've already seen that this is a Tyros5 with 76 keys. We've got two versions, 76 and 61 keys. The keyboard action of both products is exactly the same. But of course, for more piano players, this is of course fantastic to have the bigger keyboard. Now, if you are not so used to playing with styles, meaning chords in the left hand, melody in the right hand, we've got a great option for you. Because it's also possible to trigger the chords to control the style with the right hand. So you just tell Tyros5, listen to my right hand for the chord recognition. Which means that you can just, for example, play with your left hand the bass part. Let me give you an example. Yamaha's iconic synthesizer of the 80s, of course, is the DX7. And we really got great DX7 sounds now here. Also thanks to the great DSP, but also the samples are just amazing. And they really capture the huge dynamic range of the DX7 of that time. The first Tyros, of course, was revolutionary because we introduced the mega voices. And for the guitar, we had a steel string guitar mega voice, which just made all the styles come alive with this real guitar playing. And we still have this guitar sound in Tyros5. Now, with Tyros5, more than 10 years later, we have a new steel acoustic guitar, and it's just a fantastic sound. Let me first play it for you. The character of the sound is different than the guitar of 10 years ago. But if you put these two together, you just have this amazing studio sound guitar, because it's the one we had 10 years ago and the new one together. And listen to this with the new DSP. Sound always inspires. And when I heard these two guitars together, I was really very inspired. And I thought, I'm going to record this sound. And with this recording, I am going to show you the new classical flute, which is a super articulation 2 sound. So please enjoy next song. got a variation of the classical flute, which is called jazz flute. And the jazz flute is great because if you play very strong, if you play very loud, it creates a growl because it's a super articulation 2 sound. Another great new super articulation 2 sound is the new super articulation 2 mute trumpet. Tyros5 was the first instrument with super articulation 2 voices. And the first, maybe you remember, super articulation 2 sound is the jazz saxophone. And we still have it here. Now, this very smooth jazz saxophone sound was very, very popular at that time. And some people wanted even more breathing, more sound. And we had it as well with the breathy sax. Now we added a complete different tenor sax. The tenor sax doesn't play very smooth and with a very slow attack. No, it's almost as if the player is biting underneath this pa-pa-pa-pa saxophone sound. Let me show it to you. So for every kind of music, now you have the perfect saxophone sound in Tyros5. And this is also one of the super articulation 2 voices. Super articulation 2 voices means that you can change the beginning of the sound and the end of the sound by using the articulation buttons or using the pedals. Let me give you an example. One of my favorite new features on Tyros5 are the ensemble voices. You know, we sample all the sounds, the piano, the flute and everything. And of course we also sample ensembles, a brass ensemble or a string ensemble. Now the thing is, if you, for example, sample a group of 4 players, the moment you play one note, you will hear 4 instruments, of course. Let me just switch to the ensemble voices. Here I have a string quartet, which are 2 violins, a viola and a cello. Now, as I said, if you play 1 note, you will hear 4 instruments. And until now, if you play 2 notes, you would hear 8 violins. 3 notes, 12, 4, 16, 5, 20. Now let's be honest, 20 string players is no longer a string quartet. The ensemble voices, and it's really amazing, always play just 4 instruments. Whether you play 1 note, 2 note, 3 notes or 4 notes. It splits it up automatically. I couldn't believe my ears when I heard the strings for the first time. Let me give you an example. I will give you one more example, kind of classical example of ensemble voices. Here I have a flute, an oboe, a clarinet and a bassoon. I will play one more example and you can really distinguish the 4 different instruments. Now, even if you play a 1-note melody with the right hand, you can make advantage of the ensemble voices. Because the moment you switch on the harmony function here, it will also split up the 4 instruments into 4 different parts. So, here I have a sax section, and I'm going to switch on and off the harmony function, so you can clearly hear what's happening. The new function Organ World literally gives you all the organ sounds you just can think of. As you can see on the display, we've got the vintage organ sound, we've got the home organ sound with the tabs, the Euro organ sound, new great church organ sounds, and the theater organ sound. Let me first play a little bit vintage organ for you. Now let me just give you a few short examples of the amazing church organ sound, where again the DSP also plays a very, very important role, because the church itself is always part of the sound of the church organ. So I will just make a very, very long reverb with the DSP, and well, just listen to it. It's amazing. The guitar sound, the electric guitar sound, of course, is always played through an amplifier. Now, with the new DSPs, we can really see and create virtually the most famous guitar amps of the world. So, if I have, for example here, a clean guitar sound, it sounds like this. Now I will switch on the DSP, and it sounds great. But it doesn't only sound great, it also looks great. Have a look at the screen now. Now I still have the same guitar sound, but if I switch on the DSP, the guitar really plays to this real US combo amplifier. For a more rock sound, I will just switch, as you can see, to the high gain real US amp sound. So we had different US amplifiers which still are very famous. So now let's go to a British amp which also create this very, very specific rock sound. Not only famous amplifier simulations, but also famous effect boards, effect pedals you will find in the DSP section. And we have lots of DSP, so it's not just one, we have totally 9 different DSPs which you can use. The DSP, of course, is also great when you connect, for example, a microphone to the microphone input. You will have great reverbs, great vocal effects, and vocal harmony too. Even if you plug in your guitar or your friend's guitar into the Tyros5, these guitar players can also make use of all the effects, all the amplifiers, everything. And then just make a recording of it, because we've got a hard disk recording, 2 stereo tracks. So Tyros is really about composing, arranging and performing. It's just an amazing instrument. Any kind of music you can make with Tyros5. It's really all fantastic. But it's even more because it's expandable. We really got a huge number already of new sounds, expansion packs, together with styles, together with registrations for the new sounds. And you can find all this information on yamahamusicsoft.com. The Tyros5 comes with a power cable, with the user manual and with the Wi-Fi adapter and a clear music rest. Today you saw me performing and demonstrating on Tyros5, and of course we have optional things like, for example, this very nice LS7 stand. There's the speaker system, and don't forget, many of these items are already bundled at Craft Music. I think there's even a bundle which already includes the flash memory, so check it out on Craft Music. The included USB Wi-Fi adapter allows you to use various apps together with Tyros5. Yamaha Music Soft Manager is a very interesting one. With this app you can transfer files to and from your Tyros5 into Dropbox, for example, or into the iOS device. So for example, if I have the hard disk here or even the USB thumb drive, you can select any file of it and transfer it here to the iOS device, and from there to Dropbox, to iTunes file sharing, and of course, if it's here, you can also transfer it back into the Tyros5. For me, traveling the world, it's magnificent, because if I would lose the thumb drive, it's all in Dropbox. I just go to the app and put it back from Dropbox into the hard disk or the USB thumb drive. Amazing. Once again, I am Peter Bartmans here at Craft Music with the amazing arranger workstation Tyros5. Thank you for watching.